Hey there everybody, Scooter here today, and I am back to show you guys some more ideas and tips that you can use in your gardening and your container gardening projects. This is just to give you guys a little bit of inspiration and to show you some new ideas and show that you can use just about anything recycled to work in your garden if you want to. Now, thanks to a very special lady friend of mine, I won't say her name because I don't know if she wants her name said, but we'll call her Miss H. She gave me a little gift, and I could use that gift to go towards the garden, so that's how I was able to plant some more stuff. So I'm going to flip the camera around and try to go through this fairly quickly and just show you guys some new ideas, and hopefully it will inspire you as you work on your prepper gardens for this year. So here we go, and let's look and see what we've got. Okay, right here you guys can see this was just an old mail tote actually that I had on hand, and what I did was I took the drill and drilled some holes in the bottom there, and in this I planted some whippoorwill cowpeas, and as you guys can see I've already got a few of them coming up. So those babies are growing in there. Over here, this is just a regular old pot. I planted some more squash over here, I think. Let's go around here to the other side. I had some additional pots, so I decided to go ahead and try some watermelon. And in this pot, I believe this is rattlesnake watermelon. And you can already see I've got about 5 of them coming up. And over here in this pot, I've got another variety of watermelon, and I've got about 7 of those that are already coming up. You can see those. I don't know how the watermelon's going to do in the pots, but we're going to try it and see. Now this right here is just an old cardboard box that I had, as you guys can see. And what I did is I took the cardboard, I cut the box, and I put some duct tape around it. And as you can see, my duct tape's falling off. I used a real thin duct tape, so I'm going to have to get a thicker duct tape and go back around it. And the reason I did that is because this is cardboard and it will get wet and it will fall apart. But if I have the duct tape wrapped around it pretty securely, that should hold it at least through the season. And in here, I've planted some beans, and you guys can see they're already coming up. There's a little one coming up, and there's one right there. Now this is another idea. This is just a big tub that I had right there, and if you guys can see, I don't know if you can see too good below that, those are the crates, the Pepsi and Coke crates, and they've made a nice little table so you can use those. And you can see my beans, these are black-eyed peas actually, and you can see they're coming up already. And I just planted these last week, so actually they germinated and they come up pretty quick. Now here's another idea that I did, and this is just an old wicker basket that I had right here, and I wasn't sure if I could plant in it, but I got the because of, you know, on a basket you're going to have a lot of drainage and almost too much drainage. But I got the idea to use the old plastic bags that the soil came in, and I lined it and I just cut some holes in the bottom and planted. And in this I've got some melon, and I've already got one little baby coming up. So, and I know some people are going to say, well, you shouldn't plant your melon and your watermelon together, and what I'll do is I'll run the melon that way and I'll run the watermelon that way and the melon that way. So that's just another thing. I did kind of the same concept over here. These are some hanging baskets, and I needed something to line the bottom, so I just took some more potting soil, the bags, and tore some holes in the bottom for drainage, and lined these metal plastic hangers, these metal hangers. You can see I've got it hanging right there. And in this I have planted some, I believe these are probably honeydew melons. And I planted some in this one, and they're not coming up in this one, but they are coming up in this one. Now let's move over here, show you guys this. This is an old tire that I had, and I went ahead and decided to plant some potatoes. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but I got one little guy coming up. So, and I did that over here as well, right there. And what I'll do as the potatoes start to grow up, I'll just add another tire and just put more dirt in. So when I'm ready to harvest, all I have to do is just dump the tires over and the potatoes will fall right out. Now this right here, this is the shelf I talked about in one of my other videos. And what I did was I made a raised bed out of it. I took the back of it off, tore it off, and I laid it on the ground. And in this I've got green beans planted. All of that's green beans. And you can already see I've got some coming up already. And there's one there. And I did this, I wanted to try this because I figured that the beans would probably do better if they were going directly, if the roots were going directly down into the soil. So we're going to experiment. I know that I won't get a huge harvest off of these beans that I'm planting in these small planters and in these bins, but it'll be enough for, if they make, it'll be enough for at least a couple of messes of supper. Now right here, this is my fun thing I did right here. If you guys can see this right here, right there, what I did, this shelf right here, you can see that right there, this was a shelf that you hang on the wall, and it was one, I think I picked it up at a yard sale for a couple of bucks, and never did use it, and I had it sitting on the porch, and so I just turned it into a raised bed planter. And what I did was, if you guys can see, and these are some half runner white beans is what they are, and I've already got some coming up in here, and again I planted these last week. And this whole thing right here, this was an old ladder off of a swimming pool, and I decided to use it, since these are runner beans, I decided to use it to give the beans something to latch onto and grow up. I also, on this side and on this side, both, you can see right there, I took some old dog pen wire and I put it down in there, and I've run it up here and have attached it so that the beans, if they run, they can start running up this as well. That'll give them something to vine to. And lastly, let me show you guys this green thing right here. This was an old sewing box that I had, and I didn't need it, and so what I did was I drilled some holes in the bottom and I planted some scarlet runner beans in this one. I figured they could run and then grow, you know, down the trellis as well. And they're not coming up yet, but I'm hoping that they're going to come up in the next week or so. If they don't, and that's okay. But I just did that, and that's just kind of showing you guys that you can use just about anything that you have to plant in. So that's just kind of some more tips for you guys. You can see the tomatoes here. We have been so dry and so hot here that the plants have really been suffering. But we did finally get a rain this morning, so I'm hoping that that's going to help my babies out a little bit, and that they'll start growing a little bit better, because you can see these tomatoes over here not coming up quite as well as I wanted them to. So I'm going to hope that the rain is going to help them a whole lot. I did miracle grow them, and I'm hoping that that'll help too. So anyway, there you go guys. That just gives you some more ideas and tips, and I hope that you guys can use those ideas and have some good ideas for your own gardens. So if you guys have any questions or comments or tips of your own, then please leave them in the comment section below. And I hope you enjoyed. We shall talk to you later. God bless you. Bye-bye.